Hello friends, you are watching ERUDIRE Plus, the professional CAD/CAM solution provider. Let's get started.
Heat exchangers are of great importance in mechanical, chemical and process industries, and we are having different types of heat exchangers as per requirements. Hello friends, today we will explain a very simple type single pass shell tube heat exchanger using SolidWorks. For viewing the flue particles inside this shell, let us cut this one from side plane. You can see here from this part hot flue gas will be passing, and as this part is closed, so hot flue gas will be passing through these tubes made up of copper, and from here we'll be providing cold water for controlling the temperature of these hot flue gases, and from here cold water will come out. This is the exit of cold water, and at this location hot flue gas will come out. So you can say that this is the entry of hot flue gas and this is the exit. Similarly, this is the entry of cold water and this is the exit of cold water. And inside this one we are having a lot of baffles. We have provided 4 baffles. Now we can see all these things. The baffles are arranged at alternate 1000 mm away. In semicircular pattern these baffles are provided. And these are provided to hold these tubes. Okay. So without wasting time, let us start modeling. So we'll start from part, and better to start from right plane. Select the right plane, normal to. First of all, we'll draw one circle of diameter 100 mm. Smart dimension. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 100 mm. Done. Now we want to provide some linear sketch pattern to have an array of different circles in a specific way. We can use circular pattern also, or otherwise we can use linear pattern as per our requirement. Let us use the linear sketch pattern for having a specific type of array with this circular hole. Okay, so select linear sketch pattern, and we want to provide these circles at a specific distance away, 125 mm away in the x direction, and we want 9 numbers. Similarly, we want the same thing along y direction at a distance of 125 mm away, 9 numbers in y direction also. The distance will be 125 mm. Now let us select that object. We'll have 9 numbers in the horizontal direction, similarly vertical directions. We got this type of array. Select this one, green check. Next one, we have to hold these things inside some big circle. So we'll draw 2 concentric circles again. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 1400 mm, and another circle will make with a diameter of 1300 mm, 1300. Let us make the big one as 1500 mm. 2 concentric circles we made. Now the second line, the second circular line, we want to change the pattern. Instead of continuous line, we want to make this one as a construction line. That means we want to hold all these circles inside this pattern only, inside this circle with central line. Now remaining things, any circular part which is outside this circle, that one we want to delete. So using trim entities we can delete these parts. We could use different commands like mirrored entities also. That is also possible. Or we could use circular pattern also, right? So different things are available. We can use as per your convenience. Now this thing is also needed that we cut. This one also we cut. We can see some specific pattern of these circles inside this big circle of diameter 1500 mm. So accept this pattern, green check, exit from the sketch. Now select the sketch again and that to be extruded. Features extrude boss base with a depth of 25 mm in the front direction. Extruded, green check. Right, done. Next one, we want to have a shell in the backward direction. So for that we have to again select our right plane, and on the right plane we can start sketching normal to. So we'll draw two circles, two concentric circles of diameter 1300 mm and 1250 mm. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 1300, and next one it will be 1250. Two cycles you have done. Accepted, exit from the sketch, and that to be extruded. Extrude boss base. I want the extrusion depth of 5000 mm. This is extruded 5000 mm. Accept it, green check, done. Now we can do something like the same thing we can copy over here. Right, so what we'll do is, with respect to a right plane, we are making 5 different planes at a distance of 1000 mm. On that specific planes, we will draw the baffles, reference geometry, plane, and we want to make 5 different planes at a distance of 1000 mm. Green check, done. Now on the extreme end plane we have to copy the same thing right here. So select plane number 5, sketch, again select sketch. We have to select that previous sketch. Sketch is selected, then convert entities. We have copied all the things on plane number 5. Now exit from the sketch. Sketch is already selected. Features extrude boss base, and that to be extruded with a depth of 25 mm like before. It is extruded, green check, done. Right, on both the planes we have done the same thing. Now in between we have to provide the baffles, and baffles will be actually semicircular and it will be alternately arranged. Let us see these things, how can it be done. So we're selecting this one, this plane number 1, then sketch, select the sketch again. We have to select the specific sketch, that is a previous one, select, convert entities, done. Now we have to edit this part. Actually we want to use semicircular part and other part we want to delete. Next one we have to extrude with a depth of 25 mm. So select the sketch, normal to, and we have to edit these things. For editing, let us draw some circles, and its inner diameter will be 1250 mm. And for editing, we have to draw some lines also. Let us provide this straight line from here to the down part. We want baffles to be semicircular pattern. Baffles to be included inside this semicircle. We'll select the left hand side only, and the right hand side part will delete it. So trim entities, we can select and cut this circle. When this part is also not needed, we'll cut all the unwanted entities by trim entities. Even here also we have to cut all the unwanted entities. Now the drawing is perfect. Green check. Exit from the sketch. Select the sketch again. That to be extruded with a depth of 25 mm. Extrude boss base 25 mm. Green check. It is done. Right? Now to view all these things, let us make this sketch with different material like glass, something else. Let us change the appearance from here to glass to view the baffles inside. Now you can see one set of baffle is made. Right? Now at alternate planes we have to copy the same things. Now before that, we will see the drawing what we have made before. For extrude this one, extrusion, this is the sketch actually. Now the same sketch to be copied over plane number 3. Select plane number 3, sketch, select sketch again, and the required sketch to be selected. Convert entities. It is already copied on plane number 3. Exit from the sketch. Sketch is selected. Features, extrude boss base, and that to be extruded with a depth of 25 mm. Green check. It is done. Right? Now on alternate planes, that is plane number 2 and 4, we have to copy the other part of the baffles, that is the right part of the semicircle, to be copied over plane number 2 and 4. Okay, so select plane number 2, sketch, select the required sketch what we have drawn before, that is this sketch, sketch number 1. Convert entities. Whole circular pattern is copied over there. Now we have to edit this part. That means left hand side part to be deleted, and we want to have only right hand side part. So select the sketch, normal to. Let us edit this part with some circles and straight lines. This circular diameter will be 1250 mm. 1250, and we want some straight line. Done. Now I have to edit these things. That means we have to delete the left hand side only, and right hand side to be copied. You can see the drawing, left hand side should be deleted because we have already provided the baffles of left hand side. Edit normal to. We have to delete this part. So trim entities, can delete these things. All these circular holes to be deleted on the left hand side. And here also we have to delete these things. green check, exit from the sketch, select the sketch again, and that to be extruded with a depth of 25 mm. Extrude boss base, and we want to extrusion depth of 25 mm. Green check, done. Right, now the same thing we have to copy in the plane number 4. In plane number 4, same thing to be copied. So we are providing baffles alternately in a semicircular pattern. Select plane number 4. Before that, we'll see the sketch what we have made. This is the sketch that to be copied over plane number 4. So select plane number 4, sketch, select the required sketch, selected, then convert entities. It is done. Exit from the sketch. Sketch is already selected. That to be extruded with a depth of 25 mm. Features extrude boss base, and extrusion depth is 25 mm. Green check. So we have made all the baffles. Now we can do one thing, like all the planes we can hide it as it is not required at this moment. Let us hide these planes. This is our shell, right? You can see from this side. Done. Now we have to provide inlet and exit of cold water. So let us see the top plane. This is the top plane, right? So what can you do is from here at a specific distance away we can have another plane. Reference geometry, plane. From here 1450 distance away, 1450 mm away, we are making a plane. Green check. Now another plane we want to make downside for making the exit point or exit location of this cold water. So right plane again. We have to select the top plane. Reference geometry, plane, and we want to have a plane in the opposite direction, flip offset, and the distance will be 500 mm away. We will make another plane. So we made two planes. Green check. We have made plane 6 and 7. On plane 6 we have to draw the inlet location of this cold water. So plane number 6 selected, normal 2. You can draw some central line to have the location of this hole. You can provide a circular profile at this location. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 500 mm, and from the extreme left hand side the distance of this hole will be again 500 mm. Exit from the sketch. Select the sketch again, and that to be extruded. Features extrude boss base. We can say up to surface. Up to this surface we want to make this solid cylindrical shape. Green check. It is done. Next one, we have to provide some cut on this one. So better to cut this one before. Along this plane, cut it. Now we want to provide some kind of circles again. Features, sketch, circle. Select on that plane number 6, we have to draw one circle to cut out. Smart dimension to this one as 400 mm. Exit from the sketch. Sketch is selected. Features extrude cut. I want to cut up to the surface. Let us select the inner surface of this one. Done. Great check. It is cut already, right? Let us select the plane again and start sketching. Circle. We want to provide 2 concentric circles at this location. Smart dimension to the outer one will be 700 mm. Done. Exit from the sketch, and that to be extruded. Extrude boss base. Let us make this depth equal to 100 mm. Grain check. Done. Now this is the entry of cold water. Now we have to make the exit of cold water on plane number 7. Select the plane, normal to. We have to start sketching. So sketch, central line, circle. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 500 mm. And from the extreme right end, its distance will be 500 mm. Drawing is complete. Green check and exit from the sketch. Select the sketch again and that to be extruded. Sketch is selected. Features extrude boss base and that to be extruded up to next. Green check is done. Next one, I have to cut it on that specific plane. Select that plane number 7. Sketch, normal to. We want to use extrude cut for making a hole on this one. Let's provide smart dimension to this one as 400 mm. Done. So select the sketch. Features extrude cut and that to be cut up to surface. We have to select that bottom surface of this one. Green check. It is cut. Now on this plane again we have to draw a sketch 13, normal to. Let us draw 2 concentric circles. And the outer one will be 700 mm as diameter. Exit from the sketch. Sketch is selected. Features extrude boss base and that to be extruded with a depth of 100 mm. Green check is done. Now the planes are not required, so we can hide these planes. So we can see our shell is ready. This is the shell. Now we can provide a specific material for this shell. Let us provide steel, and we want to provide brushed steel for this shell. So it's complete. Now at the left hand side and right hand side we have to provide some hemispherical shell. We can save this part as the name of shell. And also we want something like at this location we can put some kind of holes. Select that sketch, normal to, and we want to provide some kind of, let us sketch some circle over there. And let us put the smart dimension to this one as 1400 millimeter. And we can provide this pattern as central line. So select that circle and it will be for construction. Green check, it is central line. Now we have to draw some circles because this part should be connected with the hemispherical part with bolt. Now you can draw a circle over here. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 50 millimeter. This one, let us provide smart dimension to this one as 50 millimeter. Exit from the sketch. Select that sketch and that to be extruded cut features, extrude cut, up to next. Green check. This cut, the shell is made already here. At this location we have to provide bolt for joining two different parts together. Let us select that cut, extrude cut, that to be used in the form of circular pattern. You can select this one as the axis. Done. Let us select 12 numbers. Green check. It is done on this side. This is for bolt positions, and same thing to be copied on the back side. So using linear pattern also we can do these things. Select this array of circles and that to be changed from this location to the other side linear wise. We will select linear pattern and along x direction that to be moved, and the distance total is 5000 millimeter. And we want to show the direction this way. It will be, can change the direction, it will be opposite direction. Now it is done. Green check. You can see the same circular pattern array is already available on the other side. Okay. Done. You can save this part. Now we have to start with the second one, that is the hemispherical part at two extreme ends, left hand side and right hand side. Let's start with part. We start from right plane like normal to. Starting with sketch, we have to provide two concentric circles of outer diameter is 1300 millimeter and the inner one is 1250 millimeter. So let us put smart dimension to that. External one will be 1300 millimeter and the inner one will be 1250 millimeter. Sketch is complete, so exit from the sketch and that to be extruded. Select the sketch again and features extrude boss base. Let us put the extrusion depth of 500 millimeter. Accepted. Green check. Now we have to provide the hemispherical part. So let us see the front plane of this drawing, normal to, and we have to provide the hemispherical part over here. So let's start sketching with the center line. Skip. Now we can provide another center line for getting the center location. Again check. Now we have to start with the semicircles from this location. It will be anti-clockwise direction. The external one is made. Now we have to provide the internal one. Let us provide any arc and then we can provide its actual dimension to that. Smart dimension. The inner diameter was 1250, so radius will be 625 millimeter. 625 millimeter. Done. Now we have to make the drawing closed. For that we have to make the lines here. Let us connect these two semicircular arcs with the straight lines. It is connected. Now we can exit from the sketch and that to be revolved with respect to this central axis. Now features revolve boss base with respect to the central axis. Now you can see it is revolved or rotated by 360 degree, but we want to rotate with respect to the mid plane 180 degree, 90 degree left hand side and 90 degree right hand side. Now select mid plane and the rotation angle will be 180 degree. It is done. Green check. You can see this profile was rotated 90 degree this side and 90 degree the other side. So total 180 degree it was revolved with respect to this axis. Okay, done. Now this one should be assembled with the main shell. So the surface should be meeting together. So at this moment we have to provide some kind of other sketches also. Let's select that sketch, sketch and normal to, starting with two semicircular part at this location. Inner one will be 1250 and the external diameter will be 1500 millimeter. You can provide smart dimension. This one has 1500. Done. Next one we can provide some circles, that is for bolt location to be provided here. We can draw some circular parts at this location or here also. Let us provide here itself. And the dimension it will be, from here it will be 1400 millimeter away. That means radius will be 700 millimeter and the diameter of this circle will be 50 millimeter. Next one, we can rotate this circle along this periphery. Let us provide 12 numbers of these small holes along this periphery. So you have to start with circular pattern, and it is asking the central axis and we want to have 12 numbers of small circular holes. Let us select that object. So 12 numbers is made. Green check. Now that we cut, so we have to extrude this part, exit from the sketch, then that to be extruded. So features extrude boss base and extrusion depth we want 25 millimeter. Green check. It is done. You can see this is the object. Now another very important part, that means the location of hot flue gases to be defined in this case. So what we will do is we will provide one inclined flue path over this hemispherical portion. So we can take a front view of this object, normal to. We can draw one straight line or center line that will be passing from the center, and that one will be providing some specific angle. This line and this line, it will be having some specific angle. Let us take the angle 45 degree, and the height of this one, let us take the height equal to 1300 millimeter, 1300. Exit from the sketch. We want to provide one plane over this straight line, and along that plane we have to provide that location of hot flue gas. That means the entry point of hot flue gas will be provided at this end. So select that end, features, reference geometry. We want to provide a plane on that specific point. Now this plane and this straight line are parallel, so select that line again. Now that line is perpendicular to this plane, accept it. Select that plane again, normal to. On that plane we want to draw that entry location of hot flue gas. So sketch, circle. Let us provide the diameter of this one as 400 millimeter. Drawing is complete, so exit from the sketch. Select the sketch again, and that to be extruded. Features, extrude boss base, and we want up to the surface. So select up to the surface. You can select over the surface. This is done. Green check, accept it. Next one, we have to provide a cut through this object. So select that object, sketch, provide some circular portion over there. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 300 millimeter. Exit from the sketch. Next, extrude cut, and we want a specific length, that means up to surface. Let us select the bottom surface of this spherical part. Accepted, green check. So we got the entry location of hot flue gas. Plane 1 selected, sketch, normal to. Let us draw two concentric circles. One is done, second one. Let us provide second one with dimension 500 millimeter. The diameter of this one 500 millimeter. So exit from the sketch. Features, extrude boss base, that to be extruded to a depth of 100 millimeter. Done. Green check. The model is ready. Okay. We can hide this plane. It's complete. And the central line also, this inclined line also we can hide. Next one, we can provide material to this hemispherical part. It can be provided from appearance here, and it will be metallic. So select steel, and we want to provide brushed steel for this material. Okay. Let us see the plain white view background for better look. So our model is ready. Okay, done. So save this part on the right plane, normal to. Sketch, we will provide two concentric circles of diameter 100 millimeter and 75 millimeter. That will be the copper tubes. So smart dimension, this one will be 100 millimeter as the outer diameter, and the inside diameter will be 75 millimeter. Done. Exit from the sketch and that to be extruded. Select that sketch, features extrude boss base to a depth of 5025 millimeter. Grain check. Done. Now we have to provide material to this one as copper, polished copper for this material. We can save this one by the name of copper tube. Done. Next, bolt and nut is to be made. Part. Okay. Again, you're starting on the right plane. Normal to sketch circle. We'll draw one circle of diameter at 50 millimeter. We have to provide smart dimension to this one as 50 millimeter. Exit from the sketch. Select the sketch again. Features extrude boss base, that to be extruded with a depth of 70 millimeter. Grain check. Now on this surface we have to draw one hexagon. Sketch. Normal to polygon. We have to draw one hexagon over here. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 60 millimeter. Exit from the sketch. Sketch is selected. Features extrude boss base, and that to be extruded with a depth of 20 millimeter. Grain check. It is done. On this surface you have to draw one circle. Sketch, circle, smart dimension to this one as 55 millimeter. Exit from the sketch. Sketch is selected. Features extrude cut, and that to be cut sideways. Let us find the depth of 10 millimeter only. And we have to cut tapered way, flip side to cut with an angle of 25 degree. Grain check. We are taking polished brass for this bolt. Selected. Let us save this one as bolt. Now the last one, the nut is required. Starting new part again. Okay, start from right plane. Normal to sketch. We have to draw one hexagon, and inside that one circle will be there. Let us draw with the polygon. Another circle is required inside. Let us provide smart dimension of the inside this one as 50 millimeter, and the external one will be 65 millimeter. Exit from the sketch. Select that sketch again, that to be extruded with a depth of 20 millimeter. Grain check. Done. Now we can cut little bit on the other side. Select that sketch again and start sketching. Select normal to. Let us draw one circle at this location. One circle. Let us provide smart dimension to this one as 60 millimeter. Exit from the sketch. The sketch is already selected. Features extrude cut, and that to be cut sideways, flip side to cut with an angle of 25 degree. Grain check. It is made. You can put material as polished brass. Saved. So actually we don't require thread at this moment. This is required only for assembly purpose. Save this one as nut. Now we can start assembly from starting an assembly. Okay, we have to select all the components one by one. Let us select all the components. So these are the components. We have to make this one as fixed, and the first component, it was this one. We have to make it, this was floating. This one you have to make it float. First of all, we want to insert this copper tube inside this shell. So starting from Met, select that surface of this copper tube and that to be inserted here. Done. One constraint is made. Next one, we can slide this as it is not complete. Next one is actually this surface should be meeting with the surface of this one. Green check. It is done. Let us see the other side. It is perfect. Accepted. Next one, we will use copy with mats for using selective repetitive process. Now select the components. We have to select this part. Next one, we have to select that location where we want to make this object to be placed. This location is required. Now again the surface is required, that means on this top surface it is to be placed. Done. Again select this one. Now the top surface should be required. So if we want to avoid this selection of this top surface again and again, so repeat here. It is done. Now we have to do it again and again, the same process, right? This one. Now top surface should not be taken because we have repeated this one. Accept this one. Done. Again select this one and accept it. We have to do these things again and again. The copper tubes have already been inserted. Now I want to attach the hemispherical shell together with the main shell. Starting with Met. This shell should be meeting with this shell. Green check. Next one, we want to make the holes for location of these nut and bolt. So let us select this bolt location should be meeting with this location of nut. Select. Green check. Accepted. So two constraints are met. Now what to meet the third one, that is the distance between them should be 0, or we can meet together. This face should be meeting with this face. Accepted. Green check. So it is assembled. You can see from side also. Let us see the side view. You can see the holes are matching perfectly. So accept this one with green check. Now the same thing to be done in the other side. That means the same side shell to be inserted on the right hand side. We can copy this part by control and drag. Next one, we have to rotate this part using move component and rotate component. This one we can rotate downward direction. Fine. We can drag it a little bit this side. Now, like the previous case, we have to mate these two. Let us mate. These cylindrical faces should be meeting with this cylindrical face. One constraint is met, green check. We can drag it. Now the mating location of nut and bolt is required. Select this bolt location, nut and bolt location. This one should be mating with. This location. Accepted, green check. Now the third one, that is the mating faces. This face should be mating with this face. Green check, accepted. So this is complete. Next one, base support should be provided. To provide the base support, we will open the main shell. Let us open the main shell and attach the base support together with the main shell. Open it. Now, to see this one properly, we have to make this object transparent. We can see from side. Here you have to provide the base support. So for providing the base support, let us sketch it. Let us see the planes, different planes available here. This is the front plane, this is the top, and this is the right plane. So we have to draw with the right plane only. What we want to do is, with respect to the right plane, we can provide some specific planes. On that planes, we can provide those base supports. So we are planning to make some planes with respect to the right plane. Reference geometry. Planes. We can reverse the direction and we want to plane at a specific distance away. Let us say 1200 millimeter. We made one plane at 1200 millimeter away. Accept this one, green check. Now on that specific plane, we have to provide that base support. Plane normal to. Let us draw some base support at this location. Sketch, circle, any circle. Let us provide any circle. The outside diameter of this shell is 1300 millimeter. So we have to provide the same dimension. Smart dimension to this circle will be 1300 millimeter. 1300. Done. Next one, we want to provide some vertical lines. Let us make a line which is parallel to the center line. Complete. Now unwanted entities to be trimmed out. Let us trim this portion. And the circle to be trimmed out also. Now the same thing can be copied or mirrored in the left hand side. So mirror entities. Select that lines to be mirrored. This line and this line also. Mirror about this central line. The drawing is complete. So green check. Exit from the sketch. Select the sketch again, and that will be extruded with respect to the middle plane. Let us extrude by the depth of 400 mm. Extrude depth is 400 mm. Extruded. Okay, check. We have extruded, but we didn't merge this one. We want to continue this one as a separate entity. Done. Now the same thing we have to copy from here some distance away. You can see the plane, it is 1200 mm from extreme right hand. Exactly the same thing to be done from the extreme left hand also. Total length of this shell is 5000 mm. So from the right plane, 3800 mm away, another plane to be made. Right? So select right plane, reference geometry plane, and want to make a plane at a distance of 3800 mm. So reverse the direction. This is the location. Accept this one by green check. Now on that plane, we have to copy the same thing what we have copied before right now. On that plane number 2, we have to copy the same thing we have just drawn on plane number 1. Plane 12 is selected. Sketch. Again select the sketch what to be copied on plane number 2. We are selecting sketch 22 and that to be copied on plane number 2. So use convert entities. It is made. Exit from the sketch. Sketch is selected and that to be extruded with respect to the middle plane with a depth of 400 mm. Green check and done. Next one, we can hide these planes as it is not required right now. The base support is made. Now we can go back to the original color of this object. We can put brushed steel, and for the base support we can provide iron, and we want to provide matte iron for this specific base support. Done. Second one also we have to provide the same material. Done. Another thing can be done, that means on that shell we can provide some kind of writing in embossed format. Now on that shell we can emboss its name. So start sketching. You have to select on a specific plane for that. Let us select front plane, normal to sketch. We can write shell tube heat exchanger, and we want to change the font of this one with a specific size. Instead of units we can change the font to 800. It appears okay. So accept this one. Exit from the sketch. Select the sketch and we can drag it on a specific location. Distance can be adjusted from here. Let us change the distance from here minus 4800 to 4500. It is fine. It is in the middle position. So accept this one and exit from the sketch. Now select the sketch and that to be embossed on that surface of this shell. So it will be features and wrap. So we have to select the wrap surface for the cylindrical surface. This is made already. Green check. Accepted. We can provide some specific color to this one. Ref, let us provide brush for this ref. Accepted. Done. We can save this part. Next, we'll go back to our previous assembly. That change will be incorporated in the assembly. Yes. Now this is our assembly, right? For understanding the passage of flue particles or flue gases or hot gases, you can cut it from specific planes. Let us cut it from front plane and see. Green check. So this is our single pass shell tube heat exchanger. From this one, hot flue gas or hot water will be passing, and as this is closed, hot flue gas will be passing through these tubes, and finally it will come out at this location from the exit of hot flue gas. And at the same time, we are providing cooling by using cold water from this location. This is the entry of cold water, and through the baffles, as we have provided semicircular baffles, so free flow of water is possible through these shells. Okay, ultimately cold water will pass through this exit location. Okay, so this is all about today's modeling of single pass shell tube heat exchanger using SolidWorks. If you like this video, please subscribe and share, and if you have any kind of doubts, please write to me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you again. Bye.